Local businesses that never fail, ranked in order. So the first business is pod capsule hotels. So we're going to go from the most likely to fail to the least likely, but still all these are pretty high success rate. The first one is a bit speculative because it's new. So it's this idea of maximizing space, and with the limited amount of square meters you have or square feet, you want to make as many places that you can make money off and rent every day. So you want to basically take this modern concept of hotels with pod rooms to maximize space and offer affordable accommodation. And this can mean in the form of compact sleeping quarters with minimalistic amenities for budget consumers. So you'll need like a public bathroom and like a public area where people can eat and some vending machines and stuff. Now the statistic rates of how successful this is are still emerging because it's kind of new still, and we still are on limited data available, but what it is out looks kind of promising, and it is pretty cool because there is demand for a budget-friendly hotel alternative. So the costs will range from initial investment, facility setup, and the construction of the pods, as well as marketing this establishment, and then this will vary depending on the size and the location. So what are the pros? You maximize space, which allows you to rent out more places, more units. It's pretty affordable accommodation opportunities for budget travelers and backpackers, and you can get privacy while still not having to go to a hostel and share a bunch of bunks. So you can target a slightly higher class of traveler who wants privacy as well, who's willing to pay a bit more, rather than someone who wants to go to a hostel and just party all night. So what are the cons? It's limited availability. Because of success statistics, people are not really still interested in this very much. You are seeing it happening, but not as frequently. It requires careful management and pod maintenance, and you have to be it basically requires more attention because there's a lot more things you have to take into consideration and manage and clean rather than just hotel rooms. You have the shared facilities, and there are different aspects of that you have to manage as well pretty well. But it's actually pretty easier. I would say it's more of a pro in terms of managing it, since instead of hotels having so many different things, you just need like a few vending machines instead of that. So there are some aspects you can further modernize and automate. Potential for challenges in attracting guests and who are accustomed to traditional hotels or hostels. So like I said, this is going to be the case with any new concept. So let's talk about the next idea, which is a very good business with proven data to prove it, which are, of course, laundromats, and they're known to be very good, especially if you can find a good location. That's the key. You don't want to open up with other competitors in the area, and you want to open up in a place where people use laundromats and there is demand for laundromats in that city or country or location. So the overview is self-operated. It's a self-operated business for laundry needs, and it's pretty recession resistant because people always need to wash their clothes. So you have a quite strong need there. And it's a coin operated washing machine and drying machines. And you just have to target high population density of areas with people who have limited budgets. And these are used all over the world. From Southeast Asia to the United States, there's demand for this business that is pretty safe, with a 60 to 70% success rate for laundromats. And there are other statistics I found that show higher, but we're going to go off the sources from Google. As you know me, Google SEO. So anyway, what are the costs for this kind of business? Well, we'll need the initial investment for the machines, location rental, and utilities like water and electricity. The pros are recurring revenue, because if people choose your location, because maybe you have some cool vending machines that the children like, so when the parents come to do their clothing, the kids are having fun on the vending machines. Maybe you have really good free internet Wi-Fi, different benefits like this. You can generate a recurring audience that will keep coming. So it's minimal staffing requirements compared to other businesses. This can be self-operated by you and your family. You just need to maintain the machines and then make sure that there's enough money and coins so people can exchange cash for coins and things like this, and make sure that all the cleaning products are sufficient. In terms of opportunity for additional revenue streams, like I said, vending machines, laundry products, etc., there's a lot of room, even for charging for the Wi-Fi. you can go up and be more creative and see other examples out there. Cons are you have to continuously maintain it. It depends on the location and foot traffic of how well it's going to do, and potential for competition. If you do find a good location, you may have another laundromat come and open right next to you. So it's just like the 7-Eleven kind of business model. So another really good strategy is home repair and maintenance service businesses. These are very good and do very well. And some of my best clients at vortexranker.com, who have been with me the longest, are in this industry because their industry is so strong and they have such high profit margins. So we're talking plumbers, electricians, roofers, builders, scaffolders. These are very good, essential businesses that are recession proof and very strong and in high demand. And people always need this service. Buildings are always being built, repaired. People always need to fix their plumbing, the electrical issues, etc. Success rate is 65 to 75, if not higher. I think it's much higher than that. And the initial costs are just your equipment, your vehicles to transport yourself from job site to job site, and growing your business and marketing, which people tend to come to me for local SEO, for Google Maps local SEO. In these kinds of businesses. The pros, we want to look at consistent demand for home repair, which is very high, and these kinds of services, and not just from individuals but also companies. Opportunities for specializations in certain things like pest control maybe, or etc. There are different things you can specialize in that really can bring you more demand. You just have to see what's less specialized in that area you want to work in. And also the ability to operate long-term relationships with customers with a repeat business. There are many ways we come up with incentivizing repeat businesses. I've made a video about this too. So cons, intensive competition for established firms and independent contractors. In some areas there's a lot of competition, but then they all seem to be doing well. Most people who open this kind of business after a few years of building and working and networking. I've made many videos about this industry and how to grow it. So there are different strategies you can come up with. Another con is high initial investment in equipment and marketing efforts. Depends what marketing methods you go with, but local Google Maps SEO isn't very expensive, but yeah, some equipment is going to be costly. Staffing people, if you're going to build a roof, you need a big team to come in. But again, if you charge the right price, you can make a lot of profit. So another business is auto repair modifications shop. So this is any kind of vehicle repair shop or a bicycle repair shop, and there's a big demand for these kinds of businesses because lots of people need their vehicles repaired, their source of transportation repaired, and many people do own their own transportation vehicles. So if we want to look at, I don't know why this slide is not loading. That's why we don't. Okay, well, never mind. Basically, I just go over the success rate around 60 to 70%, and its effectiveness. And it's also basically a pretty reliable business. You can easily find, again, it's up to location and demand in that area, but people always need their vehicles. You just need to be smart about opening in the right location. So that's the most important part. And the costs can range from the staff, the establishment that you open and run, and the facilities you have, and the different things you can repair. It's not cheap to do this, just like the hotel one. You'll need a big amount of capital depending on the size and depending on the capabilities of the amount of or types of vehicles you repair. Obviously, repairing bicycles is going to be a lot cheaper, but then your profit margin may be less when compared to repairing EV vehicles, any kinds of vehicles, hybrids, or specific kinds of branded vehicles. So again, it will depend on that. So the pros is constant demand for automotive services due to vehicle ownership. Another thing is opportunities for specialization in niche, just like the other one. So maybe hybrid vehicle maintenance is your specialty. I would advise specializing in the vehicles that are operated in your area. So if you're in Amsterdam, bicycles, but then finding a place that's not too competitive. Finding a location for bicycle repair shop that is not too competitive. When I went to Amsterdam, there were thousands. Maybe not thousands, but many, maybe multiple hundreds of different repair shops. So again, you have to be wary of that. And then the ability to build trust and loyalty with customers through quality services, maybe loyalty programs too. Cons is going to be high competition, like I just said. Constant investment in training technicians and new technologies that are coming out and new vehicles that are coming out too. Also, your worst competitor is the chains. because these guys can give better margins than you and offer better deals, and some people may have membership cards with certain chains. If they have multiple locations, they can easily hurt small local businesses. Vulnerabilities are, economic circumstances, but again, this is a quite needed industry, which is transportation repair. So it will be affected by economic problems, but not as severely as other industries. So yeah, there we go. There is the slide I wanted to show you. So yeah, let's talk about the next one, which is business care homes. So what do I mean by that? I mean, this is actually one of the highest successful businesses compared to for example, one of the worst success rate businesses are restaurants with like a 90-95% fail rate. I'll go into maybe in another video I make if there's demand for it about what are the worst businesses. So senior care facilities and centers like this and homes are in high demand because most Western people don't take care of their grandparents or their parents in general, because cultural reasons, etc. So they just put these people in these homes, and there's a big demand for it, and these homes charge a lot of money. And recently online there's been a lot of criticism about how these businesses have been mistreating these places. So maybe if you want to make your own place, be very transparent and emphasize customer service and customer support. So you're very nice to your clients, you emphasize how nice you are, because there's all that bad publicity. I'm just saying what I would do if I was going to open one of these businesses. So overview is growing demand for senior care. Like I said, a lot of people are getting older and changing family structures, which is a polite way to say people don't care about their parents anymore. And this is really good for providing to residential care and medical assistance too, so you can couple those two services. And in the US, the prices are crazy. These are some of the most expensive services. You can just look at medical services in the US to get an idea. So the success rate is 70-80%, if not higher. If you open it in a Western city that has demand for this, you will be full. They all do almost very well, as long as you just follow the basic principles I just gave you of being very nice to the people and being very strict with your staff about this. Initial investments in facility setup and staffing and compliance with regulations are usually the costs you'll have to focus on. So the pros are increasing demand for senior care services with aging population demographics, opportunities for offering specialized care programs tailored for certain kinds of individuals who have certain kinds of issues. Another thing is the potential to build strong relationships with residents and families. So, maybe if I took my family in this modern world, I took my parents to this place, they treated them so well, and I would always hear how positive. Maybe I would tell my kids to take me to this place when I'm older in this modern world, which I would not do personally. But again, this is business, right? So it's different. So staffing shortages and turnover challenges, because this is the medical industry, very high demand. Very likely your staff might move to other places looking for better deals, so you're going to have issues with that. Regulatory compliances and requirements for potential liability issues. Like I said, if staff mistreat your center, you can get sued and lose a lot of money, so there's a risk here for that. A pretty high one, since we do see a lot of those videos from the UK and the US of staffs in these businesses with high success rates, but again with these major risks. One staff can ruin the entire reputation of your entire establishment. And then we see high initial investments because you need a big facility, you need medical teams, medical services, and to maintain all that, it's not cheap. The next business, it's again like the laundromats, very easy, very good, and very profitable, is self-storage. This is a growing industry with growing demand every day, and there are different kinds, like these small ones where you can rent a small area, and then there are these like mini garage kind of style ones. And basically you're providing storage space for individuals and businesses catering to various storage needs, and people sometimes are traveling, moving around, and don't have place to put a lot of their things, so they rent out these establishments, these facilities and these services. So yeah, short-term units or long-term units you can have, and different kinds of sizes for convenience. So again, very high 70-80% success rate for storage businesses. Initial investment is the land and building up the facility and the security systems and the marketing system to get people to come and use your storage. So you don't have to go with like a big plot of land with like big garage style. You can have a small floor in a building with a few small self-storage things, enough to store maybe 100 liters, 200 liters, 50 liters per person. So again, it could be, some people use these things like banks too. So there are many different use cases for them. The recession resistant, because people always need to move their things, right? It's very hard to just do a yard sale in New York if you live in a big city and just sell all your things or whatever. So, there's a big demand for this, and there's constant demand for storage space. And it's a good ability to generate passive income with minimal daily operational requirements. You need someone in the front. You need someone to clean the facility every now and then, and to make sure no issues happen like fires and no break-ins. That's about it. Very easy business. And very low risks, as long as you open in the area with low competition and high demand. Opportunities for expanding a service to include climate-controlled units for additional storage solutions. So this is a really good thing people use. So initial investment in the land and construction can be substantial. That's a big con. Competition for established self-storage chains, just like with the auto repair shops. Again, we have chains that do this. So those are going to be our biggest enemies who are going to try and crush us. So we need to be smart and offer better quality service and unique kind of deals to get more clients when we first open up. Maybe like a big package deal, or you pay for 6 months, get 6 months free for the first year. Since we just opened our storage facility, some crazy offers like that will help us start getting the ball rolling. And then we also really need to worry about management challenges related to occupancy rates and security and maintenance of the facilities, but not too much. Again, finally, the final, and I would say the most successful, maybe not the easiest, I would say the easiest two on this list are the storage facilities and the laundromats, because they require almost very minimal work, and you can easily offload all that work to staff. So this is a very high success business, especially in the West. Just like the senior care centers, it's medical clinics. So basically these centers are in always high demand. I know many people who live in the UK and the US and in Australia too, who it takes months to get an appointment to see a doctor. That just shows you how much demand there is out there. So any kind of clinic will do well. You don't have to have like a professional, full scale hospital. You can have like a small dental clinic. You can have a small plastic surgery clinic. It doesn't have to be essential healthcare, but it can be other things too, as long as there is demand, which generally there's a lot for this, especially in the you could say in the US and in the United Kingdom and in Australia. So I've seen a lot of demand for these businesses, even in Europe too. I've seen a lot of demand too for this. Now some areas of Europe there's less demand and there's less profit margin, but again, if you're smart about it, you do some research, you can find some good opportunities. So basically the major concept is essential healthcare services on top of maybe some other kinds of less necessary but still in demand services like plastic surgery, dental, etc. And basically you can specialize in certain clinics and services, and you don't need to be a doctor to open one of these, right? You just need to hire people to do everything for you. Obviously it helps to be a medical expert if you're going to open a medical facility, so you have somewhere to go off, right? But then again, the success rates are pretty high, 70 to 80% for medical clinics. And then the costs of investments are quite substantial here. I mean, this is a medical facility, so you're going to need top of the line modern equipment, licensing and staffing, and also land and to build an office and all that. It's not easy. But the pros are you're going to definitely have stable ongoing demand, because everybody's getting sick, everybody's dying, everybody gets ill. That's just how humans are. We're not bulletproof creatures. There's opportunity for expansion and specialization in certain areas. So if you see a lot of people coming to you for a certain thing, no one is servicing that certain thing, you can open an extra department for that in your clinic. And then potential for building strong relationships with patients and community. Again, you can come up with creative ways. You can see how other clinics do this to build repeat customers and loyal ones. And obviously people have doctor-patient relationships where they prefer this doctor for personal reasons. They just feel comfortable with that doctor. So again, there are many benefits to doing that and strategies. So high initial investment, like I said, and licensing, regulatory challenges and compliance requirements. This is an important industry, right? It's like food and like medical. There's a lot of legal things that need to be in place before. It's not like storage or other ones. So another thing is competition from established healthcare providers, not applicable for Western countries, because like I said, there's a lot of demand in EU countries, especially in the UK too, and in the United States for these kinds of services. I know many people who've waited months for just a simple appointment, where in other places in the world, like in Eastern Europe, you can easily get an appointment pretty fast. In Southeast Asia, etc. There are many places where you can just go see a doctor in one day, and many countries in the West that you can't. So if you still need help and you have a local business, or you're going to pick one of these ideas and you want help to grow and get demand for your business, well, I would highly recommend you focus on Google Maps SEO, helping your business rank really high on Google Maps. And we can do that for you, since that's what we specialize in. You can go to vortexranker.com and book a free consultation with me, which comes with a free ranking report of your business. So we'll tell you how well your business is currently ranking, and what else we can do to further improve it. And it's free, so you don't lose anything by talking to me. Just head over to vortexranker.com and book a free consultation today. That's about it. If you want to learn more about local businesses and Google Maps SEO, check out my channel for other videos. Other than that, have a great day. Take care.